Welcome to Willow Glen in Motion. My name is Kevin Swanson and I will be your host. In this show, we'll explore the balance of change. Change can sometimes be a difficult thing. Typically, change requires something we know to go away, allowing a new opportunity to take its place. Willow Glen is experiencing a lot of change in the business district, in the services offered to the community, and in its neighborhoods. Some of this change we have no control over, like the current economic conditions. Some change we can control, like protecting distinctive neighborhoods. And some change is purposeful, as in replacing existing buildings with new construction. In this show, we'll explore the balance of change in all of these areas. Our economy is cyclical. We have had recessions in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the early 2000s, and now again in 2009. This economic downturn causes painful change in our business districts, with many local business owners losing their place in our community. Today, we have the opportunity to meet with one such business owner. We caught up with Kathy Adkins, the owner of Willow Glen Books, in the last few days of operation under her ownership. As we explore the balance of change in Willow Glen, we have the opportunity to meet with Kathy Adkins, who is longtime business owner here in Willow Glen, owning Willow Glen Books. Welcome, Kathy.
Thanks.
How long has Willow Glen Books been here?
I opened Willow Glen Books in July of 1992.
That's a long time.
17 years this summer.
And along with being a business owner here, you've also participated in the Business Association.
Yes, I was on the board of directors for about 5 years. I think I was president for a couple years.
Well, what are some of the changes that you've seen that have happened here in Willow Glen during that time?
Well, there's been a pretty constant change of businesses over the 17 years that I've been here. There were a lot more empty spaces, I think, in 92 than there are now. All of the Bergman building, for example, was empty. And it seemed that we were kind of coming back to life in the early 90s. And there, of course, were ups and downs throughout the 90s and changes every year. You know, there would be new businesses coming in, old businesses going out.
Coming out of the recession in 1990, you were looking for a place to put your bookstore. Why Willow Glen?
I wasn't even looking in Willow Glen, actually, because I didn't realize that the Willow Glen Tatler was no longer a bookstore in 92. There was a coffee shop bookstore down the street called the Willow Glen Tatler, and it quit the book business 2 years before, I guess in 1990. I came here because I was working with a realtor who brought me straight to Willow Glen. I think he was maybe a Willow Glen resident, but he felt like the kind of business I wanted to open and this shopping district were a good match. And he was absolutely right. As soon as I found out that, oh, there isn't already a bookstore here, then he showed me a couple of properties, including this one, and this is the one I picked. It has been a good place, I think, for independent mom and pop businesses on balance all these years, even with the ups and downs in the economy, including, you know, the crash of whenever the dot-com bubble burst. That, you know, we felt that, but I don't remember that there was a big exodus of business, just kind of a, you know, tightening of things and riding it out, I guess.
Now, I've read in the Willow Glen Resident and heard from some other places that the bookstore is up for sale. Is that correct?
It has been up for sale since January.
Well, after this time, we're sorry to see you go. Was the decision an economic decision, or was it just that you were ready for something else in your life?
Well, it was a combination of economics and personal circumstances. I think if the economy had not been so weak at the time I was looking at making this decision, I may have postponed it. It certainly was a major factor, but there are also personal considerations that were part of my decision.
Well, Kathy, thank you very much for spending some time with us here at Willow Glen in Motion and sharing a little bit of yourself and your business with us.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It's been my pleasure to talk to you.
Thank you.